Before we get into this live today, guys, let's sit down and talk for a second. I want to truly thank the 3 channels that are coming on here with me and talking about WandaVision. These guys have spent a lot of their life just learning about WandaVision through comic books and different sources. So we need to truly thank these guys, JKL Awesome, Discovery Bay Comics, Mr.Tecbot, for coming on here and educating us about WandaVision and everything there is to know about the MC universe. And I hope that I said that right, the MC universe and everything that they know that they've spent so long learning about. And I talk a whole lot about checking out my membership and checking out the Patreon only giveaway. And I still want y'all to go check those out. But I also want y'all to go check out these channels. And I want y'all to go check out their memberships. And I want y'all to go check out their Patreon only, because these are all really awesome channels. And if you're not subscribed to these guys already, you must be living under a rock somewhere. But right now is the universe telling you that it's time to go check them out. So if you'll go down to the description below, you'll see every one of them. And I want to say that it starts off with JKL Awesome. So go to his channel, make sure you're subscribed. Go to Discovery Bay Comics, make sure you're subscribed. Go to Mr.Tecbot, make sure you are subscribed. But while you are there, guys, go check out their Patreons, go check out their memberships. All of these guys have really awesome channels, and I can't thank them enough for coming on here and educating us about the WandaVision and the Marvel universe. It's been a really cool journey, and we're going to continue to go down it. So expect lots of spoilers, expect lots of laughs, and expect a lot of fun. And thank you for hanging out with us.
What is going on?
It's all right. Waking up from my nap over here.
We've come so far. We've come so far in our production qualities.
Hey,
That was pretty awesome.
Hold on. I got one comment to make on the beginning of that. We're here to educate Wayne.
you know,
I'm not saying. We're here to educate Wayne.
There you go.
So let me ask y'all a question before we get like really into this. I still get nervous before I go live every single time, whether it's by myself or do y'all still have that problem?
I do.
No,
my wife doesn't understand it. I do big time. And my wife doesn't understand it. I would just come out of the bathroom normally right before I'll come on. I'll be like, oh.
I think for me, even on like, I think when I first started doing Tecbot After Dark, I got real nervous. But even like last night, it was just me, and I was just like, I'm gonna wing it, and I had a little bit of a rant to go on, but I wasn't worried about it anymore. I just kind of went on and did it. Being in front of the camera and talking, I just doesn't bother me anymore.
Yeah, I don't get nervous for my own stuff. When I'm doing other people's lives, I get more nervous. But with you guys, I'm comfortable with, so I don't get nervous. And when I'm doing my own stuff, I'm comfortable, so I'm not nervous. But
I get nervous doing some of the food challenges we do.
Oh, those I'm not nervous. I
get bubble guts watching you guys eat that stuff.
Me too.
Yeah,
I don't even
that's
have
the
to,
only thing I worry about.
I start. Look at this guy.
How is it going to come out the other end? That's what I worry about.
Because
You don't want to know. Is Wayne going to the comic book store again?
What?
You got some cat? You want to show off some Captain America comic books?
Nice. That's because y'all made me feel inferior.
No,
I had to break out a Captain.
JB just got a bunch of good comic books.
Because I was just throwing down like this Zek cover is one of the
that's a good
greats,
one,
right? Or we can go back into some sub 200.
I can't compete. I had to throw one in there.
Did Wayne find the comic book store again?
I did find a comic book store.
What is that?
Every once in a while I find them.
Where's mine at? Where's mine?
I'm surprised you guys even saved that.
Oh, wait a minute. What is this? What is this?
Yeah, I just opened the box. So
That's
hold on. What is
Wait,
this?
I sent you something?
yeah, the Patreon win, the Batman.
Yeah.
Speaking of that,
No. Here we go.
I don't even know
JKL Awesome.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. My little sticker.
So I don't know if you caught this last night, JKL, but I've got a pop to send you, and I just like recently ran off with it. But it's the Harley Quinn Blacklight pop. You won last night, by the way.
Thank you.
Nice.
He didn't even watch the replay. He doesn't know.
Listen, I got up early. I've been working all day. I just came in the house. I took a quick shower. I threw my hoodie on. I'm like, I haven't been able to
love that hoodie sweatshirt, man. I'm so jelly of your hoodie right now.
It's a nice hoodie. So this episode
We only got a couple more weeks of this, guys.
Man. Yeah, 2 more episodes, man.
Oh, and then we have what, a week off. We have a week off before Falcon Winter Soldier starts.
Yeah, I mean, I think we have more answers, but we've also got more questions.
More
answers and more questions.
It kills me that they leave me with so many questions at the end of them. It's one of those suspense moments that just kills me.
I like it though because
kills me.
When it's different when a show just keeps giving you more and more questions, like what's going on. So like the first 2 episodes gave you a lot of questions. Then they started giving you answers by bringing up more questions.
The first 2.
And I really have to give hats off to Marvel too. I got to give hats off to Marvel too, because they've done a fantastic job so far, even trying to throw people like us off the scent. Although it didn't work, but they did try. It didn't work. It worked for Wayne.
It worked for me. I'm still waiting on Iron Man to come save the day. What are y'all talking about? It's still happening. It is still happening.
He's dead.
He's dead. It's not happening.
Hey, so check this out.
Doctor Strange.
Recently, I have been watching, and we talked about this last time, I have been watching the Marvels through the timeline. So starting off at Captain America, coming up through the Avengers. Today, I just finished the second Thor. I know that's not the last one, the second one.
Oh, that was the worst one.
I have a much more respect for Marvel and their ability to tell stories. I mean, they have told this massive story so far that I've only sat down through for maybe 10 hours.
Are you watching chronologically or
yes.
theater?
I'm watching them chronologically, so it's going in timeline. So from beginning to to me, it makes more sense because when they show Loki coming into Thor and he's all handcuffed, and it makes sense to me as to then the Avengers, they handcuffed him, and that's where so it makes more sense to me that way, and I'm staying that way.
Oh, but the word that whole scene right there is going to get turned upside down.
I don't want to hear
the more you get into it. So I'm just
going
to say.
Much more.
You're going to have to get caught up by April.
Question on the panel: did you guys wait for the end scene?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
The first credit scene. It
didn't matter.
Happy.
6 times before we watched 6 minutes of nothing, basically looking for something that never came.
I still can't believe there's 6
But we never faltered. We didn't just stop on the 7th and say, "Oh, we're not going to get it."
Some people did though.
Just like when you go to the Marvel movie, you know, at Endgame, you waited till the very end, didn't you?
Yeah.
even though the usher was sitting next to you with a trash can, going, "Dude, I told you, there's no end scene. I need to clean this aisle. Move!" And you're like, "Wait, man, they're gonna be." And he's like, "There's no scene."
Yeah,
just saying.
But see, they did that on purpose. I think they went 6 shows, no end credits, and they're like, "All right, we're gonna throw and it was like a quick end credits. It's like maybe 20 seconds. And I'm sure a lot of people missed it because they were like, "Oh, they're not doing end credits on this show." And a lot of people probably missed it. But I stayed true. I watched it.
Really quickly, let's do a shout out. So we had Christine Payne in here as always. We truly appreciate you.
Here comes the Payne.
Roberts, we appreciate you coming and hanging out with us as well. I'm going to try and grab these people as I go through there, but my mouse is trying to act foolish at this moment. It's wanting to do what it wants to do. I was telling Chris right before we all came on that I never blame technology. I blame the user. And right now it's a huge user error going on with my technology.
One of those ID 10T problems?
Yeah, pretty much. Go, Freddie. We appreciate you coming. Holly, we appreciate you coming and hanging out with us as well. Cam Unbox. I think this is the 2nd or 3rd time, Mr. Tecbot. I appreciate that. Look, I'm even gonna keep this going. Look, I'm gonna keep this going. Yeah, boy. We'll go down in the description below after the video. So if you want to go check these guys out, and you should, make sure that you go down there, hit their little link to their channel, subscribe to it, all that good stuff, and let's keep going. Yeah,
look, did you notice the hashtag on there?
I did not. What was the hashtag on there? I'm just gonna let you have that one. I'm just gonna let you have it. Just gonna let you have it.
So, actually, I do have one question for JKL. So we left last week with you with the Funko fail. Have you found out what the Funko fail is yet?
No, I still don't know. I mean, I saw some boxes floating around with the twins, which I knew that one. I saw that one. But there's another box with Pietro Maximoff. So is that the one?
No.
Okay, so I guess I still haven't seen it yet. Yeah, I stayed away from the spoiler.
He's got another week without
away
knowing.
from it. That's good. I heard it was fake. I heard that whole thing was fake.
It's possible.
But I mean, what else would Funko say? They'd be like, "No, that ain't us."
Well, I think I've been telling everybody that Funko's going to start playing with us because they're tired of the fake. They're tired of the leaks. I mean, Funko is just tired of the leaks. Here we go. I appreciate that one, brother, as always. I think that you just wanted to see this boy come up here again.
Mm-hmm.
He said,
worth the $5.
I got to find it. He said,
yeah, boy.
That's worth every penny. That's worth every penny.
Exactly.
That's fantastic.
that brother.
We still got to give thanks
we
to
get
Zach
started?
for making that one.
Are we getting started?
We
Was
are
there-
getting started.
So I'll let
But-
JKL roll with this one because I know he's got
My
his
footage
notes.
starts from the point that I think the show starts. But was there anything in the pre-credit scene that we want to discuss?
I want to ask y'all what show it is.
Oh, it's a mixture too.
Oh,
The
I have that.
the show is Modern Family, but the opening credits are from The Office.
The Office.
I thought it was Office, but it didn't feel like The Office.
Yeah. They kind of did the piano tune like The
Yeah,
Office.
and the multiple clips from everything, and there's people that are still saying that there's of course the reason they added the Office connection in there, although they still haven't showed who he is, which pissed me off because I was like, finally we're gonna see.
Are you sure? Are you sure? Are you sure?
No, there is
still don't think it's
possibility that
him,
we
but-
think he's in the background.
In the background,
of
I
them?
think. Really, it could have been him in the background. I don't know.
Because what we're all saying that, of course, everybody. In fact, it hasn't officially even been announced, but that John Krasinski is supposed to be playing Reed Richards.
Reed Richards, right? I don't think so, but
But it was
I
based
hope so,
definitely
'cause
on
he'd be
these
awesome.
two because these two both broke the fourth wall. These
Mhm.
were sitcoms that regularly stopped the action to look at the camera and
talk to the camera,
talk to us directly. And there was a lot of that going on in this.
The talking head segments where they sit, it's like they're sitting off and giving an off-camera interview. Well, on-camera interview, I should say. Yeah.
So I think just here recently, I got to honestly learn what like the fourth wall was, right? So the fourth wall is when they turn and they talk to us. But I think that I always assumed that they were talking to the person behind the camera, which in essence,
the audience,
which in essence is us, right? I mean,
Well,
we're the ones behind the camera.
In The Office and Modern Family, they were talking to the person behind the camera because that was supposed to be like the producer asking them questions for them to answer. So technically, they are talking to someone else, but it's directed at us as the people, like, breaking the
Right. Like I said, I just learned what that was.
False world we created.
because she even actually pointed out it somewhere in the time when she was talking to the camera and the camera guy talked back to her. She's like, "Wait, you're not supposed to do that."
I have that. We have that footage
And
in
that,
here.
and that was actually cool because that was one of those moments where when you watch the first time, of course you realize it's strange, but once you get the reveal, go back and watch it again. We're going to talk about it when we get to it, but yeah, that was kind of cool what they did there.
I think this whole episode was cool. I know I say every one of them's my favorite, but every one of them has been my favorite. I mean,
Chris, you want to lead us into the intro there?
Yes, Chris, let's go.
Well, basically, the show starts off.
The show starts off with her laying in bed, right?
Yeah, show starts off with her laying in bed. The kids come out. Kids come running in. Well, first she actually reaches over for on the other side of the bed for Vision, of course.
Yep, he's gone.
Vision's not there. Vision is still left out in the fields. But the kids come running in and say, "Hey, we're having problems with our video games," and they go back to a clip of them downstairs playing, and their controllers keep changing from Nintendo to Atari.
It was a Wiimote
all the way back.
Yep.
And she's just like, I need, realizing Vision's still not there. She's like, I need, there's all much going on. She's kind of feeling, annoyed with herself almost to a certain extent, I think, for the fact that, she let her feelings jump in and she expanded the hex, or the bubble, whatever you want to call it.
A hex.
By the way, I hold on. I did forget to start this. We got a new ticker down here. By the way.
And what else did he say? He said that his head hurts because
his head hurts.
he's hearing all these voices.
Noise. Yeah, he says there's a lot of noise.
He's hearing a lot of noises.
Yeah, because he's a telepath. So yeah, he's got a lot of voices in his head.
Whereas his brother doesn't understand it because his brother's a speedster. But he's hearing a lot of noises, stuff like that, and she kind of shushes him back downstairs. And she gets out. She's still wearing her costume, which we know it as the Scarlet Witch outfit, but she had called it because technically she's never been called a Scarlet Witch in the MCU. So she's still wearing her. I can't remember what she called it.
Sokovian fortune teller.
There we go. So she's still wearing that, and then of course she eventually comes down, and she starts the kids start noticing more things changing around. She's still lounging around. Now there is a thing with this scene right here that I thought was interesting. She comes down, she's just kind of slacking around. She doesn't want to do anything. She doesn't want to leave the house. She goes to get cereal. Her milk changes. It does show with the old classic view also of the bowl changes, yeah. But it also shows the fact of it shows like a looking for in the back on the milk carton, which we couldn't really make out what the picture was, but to me it was a precursor to what's going to happen at the end.
Yeah, there was a missing child on the milk carton, which is normal because we all know they used to put those on milk cartons. But as far as this show goes, it's never really been hinted at that. First of all, there would never been any kids. And now you got a missing kid on a milk carton. So,
but also kind of foretelling to what is going to happen here in this episode.
That's the way I thought. It was a foretelling to see. Now, of course, when you first watch it, you didn't really pick up on that. I was watching and going, "There's got to be something. That kid's got to be something."
Are you saying that this is that her kids are going to eventually come up missing? Is that what they're trying to show us?
Mm-hmm. Well, they did turn up missing at the end.
Did you watch this episode?
I did watch this episode.
Did you see them at the end?
I did not see them at the end.
Definitely
I didn't draw any assumptions because I don't know enough about it to draw assumptions. They just weren't there.
But originally, I saw this going, okay, maybe that's something. I remembered it, and then when I watched it a second time, I'm like, oh, that's a precursor. So that was for.
The radio said, "Thanks for turning into WNDA."
Oh, I didn't pick up on that.
Yep.
Now,
what is WNDA?
Now, question:
Wanda?
That was the name of the radio station, WNDA.
Now, tell me if you guys picked up on this at all. I kind of did, but then after watching all of the hours and hours of content on YouTube that I have breaking down this episode, I really noticed it later. Notice that in this episode, she's tired, man.
Oh yeah.
She's tired.
She used a lot. She
used her power to expand the barriers. Yep. But in every episode, at the very beginning, her voice gets lower and lower, and she's being drained of her energy. And this thing is glitching out because she's being drained. In my opinion, she's being drained of her energy.
Oh yeah, after that last episode with the commercial,
the commercial with the Yo Magic, he straight up says we're snacking on Yo Magic.
Yep.
We snacking on Yo Magic. Yep. And I think that's what's happening, and everything's starting to glitch out around here.
Yep.
She notices even more. Well, eventually she goes back in, and the kids, of course, arguing back and forth to the controller. And at this point, she's not even afraid of showing anybody her magic. She automatically opens up the door with her magic. And who comes through the door? But
I don't think we're there yet. I think
that's right. We did jump back
into here.
Yes, that was kind of cool that they snuck it in there.
Yeah, I picked up on that one.
I did not pick up on that.
Yeah, it was all Wanda's name because I assume they did that because, of course, now it's Wanda feels alone again because Vision's still out there. He hasn't come back, so I think they just kind of went with the whole Wanda in the beginning, kind of just to do her thing.
Okay, now before Wanda answers the door after the credit scene here, I think we do jump to look at this view.
Sword base 8 miles away. So they used to be right outside the bubble. Now they're 8 miles from the bubble.
Yeah, this guy talking about getting the weapons ready. And,
say we launch. What are they launching?
They're gonna launch a missile.
I think that has something to do with Ultron, to be honest with you.
Okay, I gotta scroll back because I want to try and get the shot and see if I can pause it so you can see the scale of this thing. Look at that.
It's massive.
Yes, it is.
You actually start to see the hex lines now where you couldn't see them before.
See the hex line. You can see the red. Don't tell me that the rest of the nation doesn't see this thing. I mean, this has got to be being reported out. I mean, this is not an anomaly that's being hidden.
Right.
Well, I mean,
before you couldn't see it with the naked eye. Now it's
and what is he going to launch? Energy. What is covered up back there? We don't get to see it. He says, "What are we going to launch?"
I think it has something to do with Ultron.
I think you're right. I think he was building his own version of Ultron.
I think he was
reverse engineering.
We know that he wanted to rebuild a weapon, and we know that he couldn't do it, but we know that once Wanda took everything, somehow she brought him back. So he was going back to try to rebuild something to bring Ultron back.
I think he's reverse engineering Vision to bring Ultron back.
Yeah, that's where I'm going with it.
Yeah, one he thinks he can control.
What did we think about the soldiers, though? They're now clowns. I thought that was hysterical.
Yeah, it turned them all into a carnival. That was pretty funny.
Yeah. Now, did you notice that when Vision woke up, he actually checked his shoulder? You know, he had a glance at his shoulder to see if it was still there.
Yeah. So he remembers what happened outside. He remembers everything.
And he's like, "You don't remember me? I thought we had, kind of locked eyes." And she's like, "No,
nah, sorry, dude."
She's under the hex. She's under the hex.
Yep. That was pretty awesome, though. That they had her still chained to the truck.
and then we cut to this scene where she actually says the words to the kids. Well, oh no, this is where she comes clean to the kids and basically says, "You know what? I don't have all the answers."
Yeah.
Yes.
Kind of like
I don't know
what parent, I mean, honestly, what parent kind of gives up and says, "I don't have all the answers. I just,
because she's done. She's
done. She's drained. She doesn't have Vision by her side.
She's done.
And even before that, she says, when they asked about Dad, and she was like, "Well, if he doesn't want to be here, I can't make him." So
all right, here's that scene.
She's gotten to that point where before she was like, "I can control you." Now she's like, "Well, I can't control him." So yeah, she's pretty much given up. Like, if he's not here, oh well.
I didn't even hear the door knock. Did you?
Just saw. She knew he was coming.
She just flung it open.
Agnes was coming. She knew.
And Agnes pops in.
Yep. There you go.
There's an example. There's your example.
Yep.
There's future Reed Richards.
And it could be.
So at that point, she's quit trying to hide her magic. She's just letting everybody know.
Yeah.
Now, did you notice one thing about Agnes this time? There's no brooch. At least you can't see it.
No brooch. But there's a couple of things that happen in this scene here. Now, one, Agnes is like, "Hey, I'm going to take the kids. You need some time." And she's agreeing. Yes, go with her. Go with her.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, go. No problem. She trusts her 100%. And then Agnes makes this. There it is. Oh, sorry.
Suspicious mole on my back that I just can't see.
That was a good reference there. And also, when she said, she was like, "Oh, boundaries, I get it." Because Wanda just expanded the boundaries of the hex.
And then everything starts glitching out.
The thing with the mole, that was something that back in the day during the witch trials, if you had like a mole or a certain part of your body that was messed up, they considered that to be a mark.
Now remember, Agatha Harkness is supposed to be ancient. I mean, she's been around for forever. I mean, I think the earliest thing I looked up and found about Agatha Harkness is she even remembered Atlantis going down. So that's kind of give a premise to how old she actually is. Anyway, sorry.
What is the arrow pointed at in that one? A soccer ball of sorts?
She was just watching soccer. I didn't see what the importance of that was. Now we get over here, and it looks like Jimmy Woo's got an there was an email that was actually sent when she broke that.
Well, yeah, because
Marcy had sent it to her.
With Darcy, yeah.
She had sent her, she had broken his code before she of course went into the bubble, and showing that basically he was trying to weaponize Vision or recreate Vision at some point.
Or what? Notice that the file was called Cataract, right?
Yep. Uh-huh.
And Cataract does what to your vision?
It blurs your vision.
It blurs your vision. It keeps you blind, kind of, right? I think
he was trying to recreate Ultron, but it's something you could control. But Ultron can't be controlled.
No,
it's Iron Man. Y'all are killing me. It's Iron Man.
Of course, I was getting excited because they're like, yes, we're gonna go. My contact came through. I got everything. I'm like, sweet, we're gonna see Reed Richards.
But I don't think the contact was ever disclosed because she definitely said he, but then he is not ever. We don't see an interaction with him.
No.
Right.
No.
Yeah.
Except for back there.
And then they brought out that badass video.
There is a scene of right there, and even he was he was walking another scene where you see, of course, there's certain people there that aren't in military outfit. You think that's Reed Richards?
Could have been, but yeah, I don't think they would have hit him in the background. Like,
no, they could have because of us looking for him. But
in that situation, if he built the machine, like, he would have to come forward and like explain to her how to use it and what they did. Like, why would he be in the background?
That guy right there, in the dead center of that frame. That's the guy we're talking about.
Yes.
Yeah. And that it just doesn't make sense to me.
It could be Krasinski. It really could be from that angle. But this is classic Marvel. They're like, all these people are going to stop and freeze frame they're going to stop every single frame of this thing and be looking. So let's mess with them.
They know we're going to freeze frame it. They know we're going to look for this.
I don't
seriously. I honestly think they did. Let's mess with them.
I believe that more than you know. That they do a lot of things and they're like, all right, let's just mess with the people that are really going to pay a lot of attention to it.
Yeah, that's all they're doing.
I agree with that a lot.
What I need is a 10,000-pound fallout shelter comprised of lead for photons, cadmium for neutrons on wheels.
Yeah. But I think it bounces back. Of course, yes, right back to this where Vision, is still trying to talk to Darcy.
He wakes her up,
and he wakes her up. Of course, they're arguing with the strong man who was actually.
He was one of the shield.
He was Hayward's right-hand man.
Yeah. I recognize. I couldn't remember what character he was though, but I definitely
remember. Vision has no memories, so during this ride, Darcy starts telling him, hey man, you died. Actually,
she basically said, "This is your life."
You died once. Wanda killed you, and then the bad guy brought you back.
And killed you again.
And
she had the watch. And for her, it was only 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
The crane. Yeah. I picked up on the crane.
Well, I picked up on that, but I think the biggest thing I picked up on is she can't control anything anymore. Everything's just kind of going haywire.
Yeah. She's definitely losing her control over it.
Yeah. She's losing the control over it.
She's been losing control over it. This one was just even more of a really showing it and into that area. But and I agree with Holly. The actress that's played Agnes has been fantastic. I think she's a great actress.
Yeah, Catherine Hahn. Everything I've seen her in, she's awesome.
She's awesome.
She's a great actress. She's definitely underrated.
Where do we go from there? I forgot.
Here we go. The Nexus commercial.
They're on their way. Well, I think they're writing right now, and she's filling him in on what's going on, and she tells him that, I think Vision tells her that it seems like things keep stopping us, and that's when you start noticing that everything is getting in their way to get to there, and that comes in right before the commercial that I didn't understand at all, by the way.
There's one thing I did get information on from a good friend, even though the channel I haven't seen him in here. But I'll give that about the Nexus commercial, which I didn't even know about by any means.
All right.
We did get it.
Let me explain what I know about the Nexus and her role in it. And you guys know she's on the movie poster for Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. Okay, she's on the poster. This is going to transition to that in some way. And her character in the Marvel comic book world is considered a Nexus being.
Exactly.
And what that means is, as there's different dimensions, Miles Morales is not from Earth 616. He's from a different Earth.
Right.
As there's different dimensions in the Marvel multiverse, Nexus beings are the same across all dimensions. Wanda is a Nexus being in the Marvel comic world, and that is important.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. What actually had Jesse Lou messaged me and said he saw WandaVision. I'm reading this right from his message he sent me. He said, saw WandaVision. Don't know if you know Nexus. There is a Nexus gateway. The Nexus being both having to do with the multiverse, and the beings are powers similar to Wanda's. So just kind of what JB said, with the Nexus gateway, which I didn't know that, to be honest, until he had mentioned that. I was like, oh, that makes a lot of sense.
And we understand that there's another TV show coming up centered around Loki.
Yep, dealing with
where he is going to be dealing with the alternate versions of himself in these different realities.
Right.
And there's actually a syndicate, a group, a government agency that handles this. So
the time variance,
the time variant police,
police association, whatever they call themselves. Yeah.
Which in this trailer, Owen Wilson is the shit. I'll say that.
Oh yeah, he's funny.
Are we talking about the Loki that's coming up?
Yeah. That comes out in May.
I'm not trying to hear too much
another
about
Nexus
that right now.
beam, by the way.
We're gonna blow Wayne's mind if we start talking about Loki.
I'm not trying to hear too much about that right now. I just finished the second Thor. I just finished it right before we went live, so I just got to witness Loki dying and then him tricking Thor. So I'm not ready for the rest right now. My head might explode on live TV.
And to be honest with you, I think a lot of
that would be good content.
Will agree that actually that second Thor was probably the worst one of all the Marvel movies.
It was just okay. I mean, it was just okay.
Yeah, I love the side effects. More depression.
Yeah, instead of feeling your feelings, confronting the truth, seizing your destiny, and more depression. That was hilarious.
This is from one of the movies you're watching now. From
the second Thor. Is that scene right there? This is where he's lost his mind. Yeah.
There's a lot of secrets on that blackboard. There's a lot of Easter eggs on that blackboard.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
We didn't know what the hell they meant when they showed the movie.
Seizing your destiny and more depression.
Well, see, that's the part that I was saying earlier. Is I think Marvel is absolutely crazy how they have tied these stories from as far back as they have to now. I mean, these stories are it's crazy how somebody thought it out that far.
Did you notice he was in a lot of the commercials? By the way,
he was in all.
He's in like all of them.
Who was in all of them?
He was one of the doctors that worked on her.
Yeah, the woman and the man in the commercials, they've been in all the commercials.
So it's been the same woman and man in every one of them? Oh, I didn't notice
except
that.
for the animated one, obviously. But
right. Well, it's probably their voices in that one, though.
Could have been.
I don't know.
All right.
But
so
we did miss one thing. We talked about her getting that rover, and then she jumps into that thing, and she goes full bore. Or wait, did it go to this scene before it went to that scene? I can't remember.
It did. Yeah, it goes to this scene first.
Okay, so we didn't jump ahead.
I like it here. It's because it's quiet. You're quiet, Agnes.
Yeah, because she keeps it quiet.
Did you see the look of confusion on his face, though? When he said you're quiet?
He realized he can't read her.
He had all these voices in his head this morning, but now he comes over to this house and it's quiet over here.
Yeah.
Let's do it again.
Like he can pretty much read people and he's not picking up anything off of her. So it's like she's quiet. So that lets you know something's off about her.
And she did take a pill earlier in that episode, so I wonder. Anyway,
Nexus.
She taking Nexus pills.
Nexus pill. Y'all are. Yeah.
Maybe. No worries. But yeah, he can't read her, and that's what I got out of that is, she, because we all know we've been saying since episode 1 that this is Agatha, and he can't read her because she's keeping that away from him. But now she got what she wanted. She got what she wanted the entire time, from episode 1 when she first started asking her about kids to her having kids. She now has exactly what she wants. She has the boys.
All right. Are you guys ready to see Monica Rambeau become
Photon or Spectrum or whatever you want?
I think she's going to go with Spectrum.
I like Spectrum, to be honest with you.
Based on when she came through.
Awesome.
That was awesome. That was really awesome.
Full boards into that thing, and she just gets stuck, and it starts trying to suck her in, and they're worried, and it's like it's recreating it. And when it came out as a minivan, I laughed my ass off for that one. But then she's like, you know what? No, I can get through there. This was
so cool.
Yeah.
And she gets herself through there, and all of a sudden you
can see
her
superhero right before our eyes.
Yeah. And then it's crazy when if it happens what we think. So they're going to expand this bubble and unleash the X gene on the world. Oh, it's going to be crazy.
So Holly asked, how dark is her house?
I don't think her house was that dark. I just think she because I keep my house like that too. The drapes are always closed, like the lights are always off. I don't keep my house bright, so I don't think it was dark. I just think she didn't have any lights on. Like,
well, and then she goes went down to the basement, so she's like, I mean, who keeps all their lights on in the basement all the time?
This was cool, like a Matrix type scene, right?
She's in the spectrum of everything.
Yeah, she's seeing.
Yeah, she gets through, and it's like she's seeing the code or what's going on.
Yeah,
she's still not quite sure what's going on, but she feels. Yeah, I'm sure she feels something different.
Yeah, she's like, oh well, whatever, let's go.
Now, this was an interesting part because he's telling them, and then they keep basically hitting a roadblock, and Vision says something about that Wanda keeps stopping him from going, and that wasn't Wanda that was stopping
him. We know now, but at the time,
this is hilarious. Kids come out.
The thing that got me is like when the people came to fix the light, why did they? First of all, I want to know why they stopped at the red light anyway. They out in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah,
it's not like there's cops out there. Keep going. This is an emergency. Then when the guys came to fix the light, why would you sit there? Go around them. What are you waiting for?
No, I love when he's in the interview. He's in the interview and he's saying about this, and then after a while, he's like, why am I sitting here talking to you?
Yeah, why am I even sitting here?
I'm like, I'm out. Like, what is this? So that and that's the thing. Like when he did that, I was sitting there going, exactly. What are you doing?
You can fly away.
Like,
what are you doing here?
It's like out of everyone, you're the one character that's not under her control and can do whatever you want. Like, why are you going along with it? So finally, it kind of clicked to him. Like, why am I here? I'm out. So I appreciated that moment because I was sitting there going, what are you doing?
That scene of Monica coming in, of course, she recognizes Monica right away.
Instantly.
Superhero landing.
Yeah, the total
superhero landing.
Her second one, because when she came through the hex, she did it too. It wasn't as pronounced, but she did it. So
yeah, that's a total superhero landing, and that even showed Wanda that, oh wait, there's something about this one.
Yep, that was pretty cool.
Yeah, I thought that was a pretty cool part of the show.
What's up with this dude?
He's part of Presto now. Presto.
There's that mailman again, though.
There's a damn mailman.
He's a delivery guy now for Presto. And did you notice right after the scene when Agnes took her away, they went to him and labeled on the package, "Fragile, handle with care." They're talking about Wanda. There's a reference to her, "Fragile, handle with care."
But they're out there. They're out there in the middle of the neighborhood. All this is going on. Everybody watching. And who comes out to her, to save her, other than Agnes.
Yep. because you could see she was getting through to her. Wanda was starting to question stuff like,
Yep,
what's
right
going
here.
on? And then
Getting
Agnes
through
just
to her.
comes right in.
Has already happened.
Now, and she's telling you, don't let Hayward make you to be the villain. I mean, I think this is also a precursor to what is going to happen. That Wanda is going to become the villain.
Yep, multiverse of madness.
You think she's going to become the villain? Because I didn't think she'd become the villain.
Based on the ending of this episode, I don't think it's going to be a willingness. Like she's purposely the villain. I think it's going to be some type of control over her because she's already freaking out and going mad. And you see how Agnes kind of took over her at the end. So I think that's what's going to lead into multiverse of madness.
Well, I think it's also the fact that her kids are gone. I mean, we all know from the comic books, the kids being taken away is what makes her go.
Yeah, that's what I think that drove her crazy. Yeah.
So she is going to become the villain. That's disappointing.
I think so.
That's
disappointing. But like I said, not a willing villain like she wants to be. I think it's going to be like.
Now there was one thing when after I don't know if you guys caught this, but I remembered it because
I've already made the meme out of this one with the cat and the girl. Have you seen this one?
I haven't seen it.
with the blonde and the brunette and the cat. They made a meme out of this one already. I love it.
They should do with her and the rabbit.
She gets it. No, well, you know where the name the Scratchy comes from, and there's predictions that I've seen online of thinking that the rabbit is actually her son because of course her son he has a very similar name, Agatha's son, but there's a point in there where she purposely looks over and she sees a fly.
It's coming. Yeah. I got it.
I thought it was a moth.
Eating. It's a fly or a mosquito. But you got to remember that when Mephisto started coming back, he came back as a fly to start with, and then
what did you call it?
Into something else. It's probably more of a
cicada. It's a cicada.
That's what it is.
Yes,
that's what it is.
Yes.
Yeah. You know, and he came back, and that's how he started developing back into that realm.
Right. Aren't they known to come around before plagues? I mean, isn't that an old Egyptian thing where the cicadas locusts come around before the plagues?
The locust.
I mean, is that what they're trying to maybe y'all are probably all right. They're about to turn everybody into mutants.
Well, I took the cicada because cicadas actually make lots of noise.
Mm-hmm.
Did you see that? What happened there?
Pretty quiet. It wasn't.
Didn't it close behind her?
No, the aspect ratio changed. Not that scene, sorry. The aspect range changes as she goes down. Now she's not in the hex. It seems.
Yeah, it does that in a lot of the episodes.
Every time that she's not in the hex, it gets that ratio
wider or gets shrunken in. Yeah. So I like how they do it, and you don't even really notice it.
But yeah, this was an important part because I was like, "Oh wow, that could be part of that book of all things right there."
The Dark Hold, possibly.
This is where Iron Man and Doctor Strange,
Iron
come
Man.
in with. They're going to come in. Hold on, with the Incredible Hulk.
Well, what color, gentlemen? What color is this thing radiating?
It looks orange.
It looks orange. And what does red and purple make?
No, red and blue makes purple. Oh, red and purple.
No, red and purple.
Black.
Does it make orange? I don't know.
No,
what do you make orange?
Red and yellow makes orange.
I think it's red. I actually think it's red.
It's very
orange. I think this thing is sucking her magic.
Possibly, yeah.
To open itself.
I didn't think
my theory. Yeah. This thing is sucking her magic. They're using her to open this thing.
When that thing opens, it's gonna be
Yeah. What is it?
Your Mephisto's coming with that.
Not before.
Well, they said it was Agatha all along.
No, she's still throwing you off. She's still throwing off. She was not working alone. Like I said, and we know that Agatha was one, to put Pietro in that point, that area. Because there was even a scene where it showed Pietro and her in the hallway, stuff like that. So we know that Pietro was a main part.
All right, here's the reveal.
Of course, now she comes out. She reveals it. Now she's wearing the brooch, by the way.
Yeah, and she's wearing the brooch, and she says, "You're not the only one."
The name's Agatha Harkness.
And notice she takes now. She has control of Wanda right there,
Yes.
right?
Yeah,
She opens her eyes.
She took control of Wanda.
Remember, she's a witch too, and
So-
she was actually a mentor.
And now
of
you get to see
Wanda.
all those scenes. She was faking it in the car.
Told you.
Well, we knew
And
that.
she killed
I
the
said she was
dog.
faking it in
Killed the
car.
dog.
killed the
And I
dog.
knew she killed the dog. That was a surprise to me.
Yeah, y'all called that one too.
We called those.
Yes.
But I want to see her outfit, man, because she changed before it really panned up, so you didn't really get to see her
You
full
can
outfit.
see now why they were talking.
I want to see her outfit. You see, she put the hex on Herb to make him freak out. Sent
This
Pietro
one right
in
here.
there.
She's out on the lawn.
Yeah. That was so cool. I was like, oh my God.
Yeah,
They
I
really,
was the
really-
same way. Mind blown.
Yep.
And right there,
By
that
the way,
right there, with her
Well,
smiling with the kids, that I knew. I was like, oh, okay, no, she finally got what she wanted.
Yep.
That's
She
why
got
the
what
kids
she
aren't there
wanted.
anymore, because of course she knows that because in order for Mephisto to come back, being the devil, he needs the kids. He needs part of him to be on Earth in order for him to come to Earth and go from there. So that's what the whole thing was about. This entire thing was about those kids. From the very beginning, when she was asking Wanda, "Hey, what's going on with kids?" Started planting the idea of kids in her mind.
For the
Doing all this
children.
stuff.
And for the first
For
time,
the children.
for the
I mean,
first time, we get
yes, we did.
Post credit.
post.
And because of y'all, I stuck around. I stuck around and watched them.
Yeah.
We finally got it for all those Marvel fans. that said,
She's poking around Agatha's house.
notice that, she sees the purple. She sees that purple.
Yeah.
Because remember, she's also Spectrum. She can see a lot more than what we normally. And then, of course, who shows up?
Yeah.
Who I think is still under the hex.
Yeah.
What did
he
he
at
say?
the end, he said Snooper's gonna snoop.
That's what I thought he said too.
Snoopers
like,
gonna
Haters
snoop.
gonna hate. But see, in that picture, like in that scene, when you look at him, it's kind of like he might not even be on Agnes's side, because it doesn't look like he's saying it like
Nightmare.
evil.
That's
He's
Nightmare.
kind of saying it as matter of fact, like
That's
yeah, I'm
Nightmare.
trying to figure out
Bingo.
what's
I
going on
agree with
too,
you
but-
right there.
That's straight up Nightmare, dude.
Well, I thought
That
it
is
was Nightmare.
straight
I thought
up
he was
Nightmare.
You called it last week, but that's straight up Nightmare.
We'll see.
100% agree with you. But I also think that they're trying to unlock somebody bigger.
Oh yeah,
Well,
absolutely.
Mephisto, we know that.
I know.
Definitely.
So that is the episode. What did you guys think of that, man? That is fantastic.
Listen, this episode, I mean, I don't think it was as good as some of the others as far as
It answered questions,
it answered questions. So that's what made it good. It kind of like,
but it still left us with a lot of questions. Like,
yeah,
I want to see
course.
freaking Reed Richards show up, dude. I don't care.
All right, we got 2 episodes left. What's
I
the
don't
end
think they're
here?
gonna premiere him in this.
The end. I think you're gonna get more of. I think it's gonna uncover Nightmare next week. To be honest with you, I think that's gonna get into that. And then the last episode, of course, is gonna be the return of Mephisto.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, it's definitely gonna be. I mean,
right,
they already
here's my-
said that the last 2 episodes are more action packed. They're actual Marvel movie caliber episodes.
Right,
So
But they also said that the last 2 episodes were actually the darkest.
We also know that they're not doing any more Wandas after this, right? So they only did these
We don't
9
know.
episodes.
We don't know.
We don't know.
We're assuming.
I don't think so.
I don't think
But
we would.
this is my theory here for this mutant thing, right? So you have to have been part of the snap.
Okay.
Right? 'Cause your body has to have gone through that process, and you've got to have gone through the hex. So a combination of those 2 things is going to turn on your mutant gene. She's only got to get so far. If this thing expands, if she gets just one more, think about this. Can you imagine kids that return to their parents 5 years later to situations that were no good? Seriously, right? Kids
Crazy.
that all the parents that broke up as they lost their child, or one parent was there and the other parent was gone and they moved on.
And then
with
they
their life.
remarried.
All
And
these children that are like out there that are struggling, and let's just say, I don't know, there's a school that decides to take as many I'll take as many blip kids as we need to that are displaced. So now you've got all of these kids in a school for the gifted that gets encompassed in the next outring of her blip,
Right.
and you've got the whole, Professor
well,
Xavier's
school
school
is
for the
enough
gifted
in New
right
York.
there,
They're
because they
close
all
enough.
develop mutant abilities in that building. Yeah, I
They're
can
close
totally
enough,
see
yeah.
that. Come on, that's a good theory.
That
isn't
could
it?
work.
That's
Come
a
on,
good
that's
theory.
a good
I mean, it completely
damn good
answers
theory.
it answers a lot of questions
He
when
takes in all the
they
kids
took over
that
the
are
X-Men universe.
displaced.
So it explains the whole. When Marvel took over the X-Men universe, when everyone started going, okay, well, that's great, but where the hell were the X-Men during the battle with Thanos? This now completely explains it all.
Well, I don't know if it completely explains it, but
I'm not even going to comment because I'm still thinking of Iron Man and Doctor Strange and all of that.
Stop with the damn Iron Man.
Well, Doctor Strange is coming. Iron Man, not so much.
Well, they're gonna.
Have you ever watched Doctor Strange yet?
I have.
Yes,
It's not. No, stop. It's not in the line yet. I have not. I have not seen Doctor Strange.
Oh man!
I just know that he's got this really cool cape that goes with him.
JKL, do we have any Easter eggs that we missed?
Oh, there's a ton. Okay, hold
Let's
up. Okay. The hex pattern on the sheets, Wanda's sheets. We saw that
at the beginning. Yep.
Yep. The game controllers, in case anybody cares.
Yep.
It was a Wii controller, then it became a GameCube controller, then a Atari controller, then Uno cards.
Oh, that's a good
I don't
one.
know if anybody cares. Let's see. We already talked about Billy and his noisiness. There was a cool little line of dialogue where Billy says, when they're fighting for the controller, Billy says you always get to the controller first, because Tommy's like, I got it first, because of course he's a speedster, he always gets there first. Both Billy and Tommy are wearing their comic book colors.
Yeah, they always wear their comic book colors.
Wanda was eating sugar snaps. Snap for the Thanos snap. The radio station WNDA. That's why you gotta have the captions on. Also, randomly, the radio station, the guy said, "Not a thing weighing heavily on your conscience," as Wanda was making breakfast. So who knows what that was about. The missing child on the milk carton, which I have a theory might be Agnes's son. I didn't know she had a son. Somebody mentioned it, so I was like, "What if it's her son?"
There was also something I did notice. I want to stop you out when she when Wanda was sitting in front of the TV and everything was started changing, and I was trying to zoom to try to find out because I couldn't read it. But when she went to like where there was a vase, there's a note on that pot or vase, and I couldn't. There's no way to make out what it is, and then it changed to something. But there is a note on that pot or vase. I just couldn't make out what it said.
I didn't see that. I missed it. I'll go back and see if I can find it. Of course, I know what you did, Wanda, in the intro. I know what you're doing. Agnes's look to the camera, the gym look from The Office. The Friday the 10th that was in a heart in the intro, I was looking. I couldn't find anything. All I know is they're supposed to be in October 2023, like Halloween. The next November 2023, the 10th falls on a Friday. And it's National Forget Me Not Day. I don't know if that means anything. That's the only thing I can find that was related to the show.
Well, there was also remember the number 23 from the first episode.
That's reaching.
You can see the hex design from the outside of the hex now, where you couldn't before because she made it bigger. Also, when the hex expanded, not when it expanded, but when they showed it for the first time, you could almost hear it breathing. Sounds like it's breathing. Listen really close. The weather pattern on the TV when they showed it is repeating. It's the same weather, same temperatures every day. Like you can see, it's a repeating pattern. There's a part where she says, where Wanda says, "Zip, zero, zilch, nada, niente." That's a reference to something because I say it, but I don't remember where I got it from. So when she said it, I was like, "Oh, I say that," but obviously I don't know where it came from. Major Goodner. She had a Captain Marvel symbol on her hat, on the front of her hat.
Ooh,
it's hard to see because it's camouflage. The camouflage.
I didn't notice that.
Camouflage.
It's Captain America time.
When they first showed Captain Marvel, when they first showed the carnival, There's a character on a unicycle dressed like the Dark Phoenix.
Oh yeah, I didn't know.
When Vision and Marcy are talking, Vision mentions the Pietro being an imposter, but he wouldn't know it was an imposter because he wasn't there when Wanda told the kids that, and plus he doesn't remember anything that happened before the hex. So how would he know it's an imposter Pietro? So there's something to that. Let me see. Oh, when the producer asked if maybe she deserves it. First of all, the producer usually doesn't talk at fourth wall shows. But if you go back and listen to it, listen to the voice. That's Catherine Hahn talking in a lower octave. When you first listen to it, you just think it's a guy. But once you get the reveal, go back and listen to it. That's actually her. So they put it right there in our faces and we missed it. Let's see. Agnes tells the kids your mom can do anything, which is technically true in the hex. Monica's suit, the sword suit, is the same colors as her comic suit. When she straps up the buckles, it forms an X over her chest, which might mean something.
X-Men.
Yeah. When she's going through the hex, here's the dialogue. Her mother says, "No, I can't leave Monica." Young Monica says, "Mommy, it's okay. I can stay with Grandpa and Pop. Her mother says, "There's no way I'm going, baby. It's too dangerous." Monica says, "Mom, maybe I could fly up and meet you halfway." Nick Fury says, "Only if you learn to glow like your Aunt Carol." Her mother says, "And you were the most powerful person I knew." The doctor tells her when her mom died. She says, "Your mom died." Then Wu says, "She was truly an inspiration." Then you hear Monica screaming, "No." And then you hear Captain Marvel say, "Your mom's lucky. When they were handing out kids, they gave her the toughest one." And that's when she powered through. She did a superhero landing when she came out the hex. She did a superhero landing when she was fighting Wanda. So 2 superhero landings. She came out seeing the light spectrum, which is why I think she's going to go by Spectrum. Let's see. This is the first appearance of Dottie in a couple of episodes.
Yeah, she hadn't been there in a while.
Yeah, and it was just a quick flash. So what's going on with Dottie?
I just want to comment on what somebody just says that Agnes has a power stone. No power. I don't think that's a power stone.
Yeah, the power stone was red.
The power stone was red, not purple.
Yeah.
What about this one? This is a good one.
No, the power stone was purple. Sorry,
was
power
it?
Stone was purple. Yeah. The ether was red. Sorry.
Oh yeah, you're right. It's possible, but I don't think she's got the power stone.
Yeah, I don't think so either. We caught the Presto on the guy's shirt.
Is Vision aware and wants the hex to now be reality? I think Vision wants it all to stop.
Yeah, he wants to figure out what's going on. He just wants to figure out what the heck is going on. The TV show they were watching is Yo Gabba Gabba, if anybody cares. My daughter used to love that show. At the end, you see the peanut butter and jelly sandwiches on the table in Agnes's house when Wanda was sitting there. At the beginning, when they were fighting over the controllers, there was a voice on the TV talking about peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. So I think that was a nice tie-in. The cicada on the drapes, I thought it was a reference to Silence of the Lambs, because it's like when Clarice goes in and she sees the moth when she's talking to Buffalo Bill, kind of like a revelation. That's what I thought, but you guys tell me your thoughts. There are hex shapes over the doors in the basement, and they have symbols in them. I don't know what the symbols were.
And I do agree with somebody. I think Scooby said the basement did remind me of Stranger Things, the upside.
Yes. Upside down. Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah.
There's also in the cabinet behind Wanda, you see a lot of skulls in there. It looks like there was some horns in there. The book, possibly the Darkhold. We talked about that. Of course, we saw Wanda's power is red, Monica's power is blue, and Agnes's power is purple. Well, red and blue makes purple. So I don't know if that means anything, but.
By the way, I did just find it because it took me a minute. Now, going back to the bunny and her son, Agatha's son's name is Nicholas Scratch, and she calls her bunny Senor Scratchy.
Senor Scratchy.
So it's possible she's trying to use Wanda's magic to make him human again.
Nicholas Scratch is a fictional wizard, a supervillain from the comic books. His first appearance was in Fantastic Four 185.
185.
Fantastic Four 185. Oh, he's looking.
JB instantly went to looking. He's like, I got that one here somewhere. He's like, I got that right here.
Actually, I think I have it.
And, the last thing I have is Agnes's theme set to the Munsters, kind of like the Munsters from the old TV show. Mm-hmm. And it's the lyrics are, "Who's been messing up everything? Who's been pulling every evil string? She's insidious, so perfidious," which I don't know what it means. I was supposed to look it up. Somebody look up perfidious. Tell me what it means. That you haven't even noticed. And the pity is, it's too late to fix anything now that everything has gone wrong. Thanks to Agatha, naughty Agatha. And I killed Sparky too. Which is fucking awesome.
You know, look, that was a really awesome part of that show.
In reading some of this thing about Nicholas Scratch, is he was actually accused of working for or serving Mephisto.
They keep pointing towards Mephisto.
Ralph says I sugarcoat
I'm
things,
telling you, it could be a huge fake out where they keep pointing towards Mephisto and they're gonna be like, nope, it's somebody else. And you know what? It wouldn't surprise me if they did that, because you know they know that we're combing through every single clue to try and figure out what's going on. So it would be smart for them to point us in one direction, throwing everything at this one thing. It's got to be this. It's got to be this. And then
I hope you're wrong.
It's over here.
I still hope you're wrong.
Scratch was
I got money invested in comic books now, man. I need Mephisto. We're rooting for Mephisto.
He said, I need him.
Sell.
I've done bet the money line on Mephisto right now, man. I can't be coming up snake eyes. Don't be throwing out no snake eyes on my Mephisto theory.
You know, look, that was kind of genius, though. I'm not going to lie to you. If you really did, that was kind of genius.
I've been specking those books, man. Come on.
Man. Started buying them up.
Genius.
Like,
so,
but it did say that Scratch was banished to hell, where he made the alliance with Mephisto.
So here's a question that I think is a very valid question. So what's Agatha going to get out of it? I mean, what's her reward?
Could be your son.
Get her son back.
Yeah, her son could be in hell.
Said, "You want your son back? Oh yeah, he's down here with me. You want him back? Cool. Yeah. Check this out. I need you to do me a little fave."
Exactly. Yeah, it could be that. And then in the end, possibly he tricks her too, because you know he's the devil, so he probably tricked her somehow, and then she might join with Wanda to try and take Mephisto down. That would be awesome.
Mind you, there is between Mephisto, Agatha, and of course even Nicholas Scratch, is they were all in Fantastic Four, which is why I'm saying that engineer is Reed Richards.
It could be. I'm not saying it's not, but you know the guy in the background wasn't him.
That's very possible. It was Reed.
It could have been.
I'm saying
that totally could have been him.
Saying it was.
Nah,
that could have been him.
I don't think they would hold such a huge character and be like, "Oh, look, here he is in the background." Nah, you put him.
JKL, what do you have going on next week? You want to talk about?
I got stuff. We do this every week.
I know. Every week we do this. Every week.
My Patreon is live. Yay! So you guys can check it out. Tell me what you think. Hopefully you guys enjoy it. I'm trying to make it fun, so we'll see what happens. I recorded some new video. Like I said, I just opened up this box. I opened up the mail, and I got videos coming. So just stay tuned. Stay tuned.
I got you, Chris. What do you got going on? Anything you got going on you want to talk about?
Yeah.
Some new mystery boxes. How about some of them $1,000 mystery boxes? Have you gotten your hands on any of those yet?
I'm not privileged enough to be able to get to the $1,000 stage yet, but no, I did open up. What did I open up? Oh, I do have the collectible swap that I did, and I decided to go a little bit different. I decided to go Wayne style a little bit, and I'm just showing off some product that I've randomly sold, because I've got stuff that I've randomly bought, because I've got stuff sitting in the closet, even stuff that I just will go to the store and will just buy. I don't do a video on it, but I put it in the closet, and I can't put it up on my shelf until I show you guys. So, showing off some cool product. Plus, one of them is one I just got in this week, and I was super excited to open it up.
Are there some unwritten rules that I don't know about? There's some rules that I don't know about, some unwritten rules.
What do you mean?
You don't have to show everything on video before you put it up on the wall, man. You don't have to share with it. You could pretend like you don't have a channel and get something, open it, enjoy it.
I know.
Put it on the wall
See, if I put
without
it on the
making
wall,
a video on
if
it.
I put it
You
on
can
the
do
wall,
that.
then
I'm just saying.
forget to show people.
I'm
and
just
then I just stick it in the closet.
Now, certain things I save to open on camera. A lot of things I just open and put wherever, but certain things I have to save for the camera because it's meant for the camera.
JB, very very quickly before we get into that, there's a few questions over here before we get into what you got going on.
Why Agatha killed Sparky? Because she's a witch.
Yeah, she just didn't like him. He was a dog. Dogs bark at witches. I mean,
the dog for the next potion.
She was stupid.
It reminds me a lot of like the Wizard of Oz. You know how the witches always hated the dog. She just hated the dog. The dog barked at her. She took the dog out. I mean, it was
tried. Yeah.
I agree with that, Jonathan, because in the comics they were created with the shards of Mephisto's.
With shards of Mephisto's soul, yeah. So
yeah,
I don't know if it's possible.
Yeah. I mean, I would assume they're gonna go away in order to push Wanda further towards madness because they have to get to multiverse of madness somehow. So you got to push her over their edge. So I think the twins are gonna go away.
There is also a thing on there, and this may be stretching. I don't know if you talked about it in your things, but if you actually go back on that rover, there's a set of numbers in there. And if you look up some of those numbers, it actually leads back to, I can't remember them right now, but I did, and somebody else pointed this out to me. It leads back to a Young Avengers episode or comic. So kind of emphasizing that Young Avengers is going
I can't believe that how deep that one was. That
was
is
deep. That is stretching,
the barcode number
for
an issue. Someone said that was the barcode number for a Young Avengers issue, which is deep. And then the one last one that I think we've kind of glossed over was at the very beginning when they were doing all the different Wanda signs. Mm-hmm. One of them was a license plate.
Yeah, and,
the numbers were Stan Lee's birthday.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Nice.
That was
usually nice. when they throw out random numbers like that, I know it's a reference to something, but I'm not deep diving like that because it's usually to a comic book reference or something.
Yeah.
Like I'll look up dates. I'm not looking up all the random numbers. That's too deep for me.
JB, what do you got going on next week?
Same as always, really. I make a guest appearance on the Lords of the Long Box for the Shakers list, which is fun. That's on Thursdays. And also on Thursdays, I release a 2-minute, 15-second video where if you watch that and comment, you potentially have the opportunity to get onto the wheel for a PS5. And guess who's on the wheel?
The rigged wheel?
Guess who's on the wheel?
Who's on the wheel?
Who's on the wheel?
Your wife. Your wife's on the wheel.
Your wife's on the wheel?
Wade's wife is on the wheel. So every week, if you watch the video, you'll see who was the winner from last week. And they get a little prize, nothing big. They get a little prize, and then they get added onto the wheel. And once the channel hits 5,000 subscribers, I'm giving away a PS5. Straight up.
Wow.
Boom.
I want onto that
I
wheel.
now.
Especially,
I need to get on that wheel. I don't even play games like that.
What the hell?
I'll take a PS5. Why not?
Guys, I truly appreciate y'all coming and hanging out. If y'all want to check these channels out, a link to them are down in the description below. So make sure you go subscribe to these guys. Truly appreciate I can't speak today. Truly appreciate y'all coming and hanging out with us. Have a good night, guys.
Check the mic and make sure it sound right, boys.